Game number 3 of the bracket stage of the MSI 2023 in jolly old London. Round 1 continues and its debut for Cloud9 going against Billy Gaming, who already showed some great performance in the play-in stage. It's the number 1 seed from the LCS going against the 2nd seed from the LPL. And we go straight into Game 1.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
It's the third and the penultimate match of the first round. Both teams are fighting for a spot in the upper bracket in round 2 and to avoid the hell of the lower bracket. And it's Cloud9 starting from the blue side with Fudge on Cannon, Blabber he's on the Nocturne, MNS he plays the Silas Berserker, he's on Xayah, and Sven plays the Rakon. On the other side for BLG it's Bin playing the Gnog, Sun on the Vi, Yagao he's playing the Talia, and Alkanon. They're going with Lucian and Army. Already 6 minutes into the game, we're going to the bot lane where it's Sven with the grand entrance there on Elk, who's now already below half HP. Berserker and Sven chasing him down. Both junglers are getting closer and Sven himself, he's taking so much damage and he will fall first. Berserker then flashes in, takes down Elk, but in the end it will be Sun cleaning up the mess for his team. It's first blood and a 2-for-1 going to BLG. Fighting for the first dragon now, it's Blabber flashing into the pit, trying to go for the steal. He won't be successful, but instead, he and Sven then take out Sun. Yagao slides in with the Reaver's Wall to take out Berserker, but Sven, he comes to save his ADC. And on upper screen, it's on chase there by Blabber on the Cossacks. It's a second kill for Cloud9 there in that situation as they now chase the last remaining members of BLG, Elk and Yagao. They're both fleshless, but in the end, they will be safe under the turret. Now look at that bottom right screen where it will be Blabber on the Nocturne flying in with the Paranoia there on Elk, and he sends him into the darkness, and now they're going for On as well. And the army gets fried and filleted with no mercy, and in the end it will be Berserker collecting the kill. 9 minutes into the game, it's Sun collecting the first herald of the game. But it will take another 3.5 minutes until he summons the sweet Lady of Rage there in the top lane together with Yagao. And it will not take them long until the three tear down the first turret of the game. And they continue to move further forward to the T2, as it's Blabber in the Dragon Pit, in the meantime slaying the second Drake of the game. The second top lane turret taking serious damage as it's now Fudge and MNS joining the scene. The first Shuriken flies and the Silas and the Cannon are picking up the pursuit. Soon with the cease and desist on Fudge, but he stays rather unimpressed as he's 2 levels ahead at MNS. He's just melting down the health bar of Yagao and sends him back to the fountain. And the Vi now running away from MNS and also Blabber on the Nocturne like she was back in the days in the lanes of Piltover, shaking off some nasty enforcers, but MNS he's picking up the scent and he hijacks the Vi ult. Soon he's already understood, but MNS with the abscond and the cease and desist destroys him. But the scene ain't over now as it's been looking for some revenge on the Mega Gnaw, hops over the wall and he kills the Silas in return. Second herald of the game after 15.5 minutes going to Cloud9, but as the bot lane is undefended, it's Yagao on the Talia tearing down the T1 there. But we keep our eyes at the bot lane where it's Cloud9, separating and leaving behind an isolated Sven, and it's Sun now with the VQ dashing over the walls, and together with Eltier just picking apart the Vestian and sent him back to his base. Sun is no further going forward, activates his Vault Breaker, knocks up MNS, he's joined now by Ben, and Yagao comes with the Weaver's Wall and cuts off the escape route of the Cloud9 mid laner. But at the same time it's Blabber and Berserker on the mid lane taking out Elk, and there's nothing for On that he could do with an army to prevent his ADC from dying. But now it's Blabber and Berserker falling back because they face a 2v4, and they try to get together with Fudge there in the topside jungle, but all of a sudden it's been there on the Gnaw, hopping over the wall, flashing into it, going for Berserker now. He lets the boomerang fly and gets the kill. Now he turns into Mega Gnaw, but it's going insane there. And together with the rest of his team, he even takes the second kill on Blabber. Now they're going for Fudge, but he can escape using the Blast Cone. About 18 minutes into the game, we see Cloud9 there summoning their Rift Herald in the mid lane, but BLG, they won't defend their turrets, but instead go for the Dragon. Only by now, Bin, Elk and On they return to bring down the Herald. And so the Infernal buff is secured for BLG, but they will lose 1.5 turrets in the mid lane. A minute later, Sven with the grand entrance there on activates his charm and pulls him towards his teammates, as it is Blabber with the Nocturne Paranoia there on the army, and the Everfrost Root seals the fate there for On. But BLG they strike back, Elk with the calling there, and the Sun with the Q into the ult there on Blabber. Yagao collects the kill, and so they trade their supporter for the enemy jungler, because they won't take down MNS, who flashes into safety. Another engaged by the Nocturne now on Elk. Sven he follows up with his ult and the knock up. Also MNS now with the stolen tidal wave of the army, but it's just not enough damage. And so it's Bin now who has TP'd in. Blabber falls. And BLG they turn this thing around as they send Sven into the break screen as well. And Cloud9 they're outnumbered. They have to retreat and give up their T1 because there's no potential universe in which they could defend this one. A bit more than 21 minutes into the game, and BLG with the gold lead of 4,000 as L comes in with a collar, takes down MNS. And so it's the third kill for the Lucian in this situation alone. And we look at the bottom screen where it's Sun with the wild, and also Yagao hopping off the reverse wall, and they're just going wild on Fudge. But also on the top side screen, it's On who gets sandwiched like he was some tuna there by Cloud9. We're now kept off the jungle by the culling of Elk for the moment. And so BLG is going for the Drake, they're melting down the health bar. Blubber, he's just not close enough there to go for the smite steal, and so it's BLG collecting his soul point. 26 minutes into the game, it's a 5k gold lead already for BLG, and it's further increasing as they take down a T2 in the mid lane. MNS, he's now collecting the gold bounty in the bot lane there. But in return, it's Yagao in the top lane taking down the T2 who can't just be stopped by Fudge, and we look into the mid lane. Where it's Bleb on the Nocturne flying in on the ADC of BLG. Switches to target now, attacks On, and he's joined there by Swen who dashes over the wall. And together with Berserker they take down an army. Fight for the Dragon Soul now, it's all or nothing for Cloud9 who have to prevent BLG from getting it. And so MNS, he goes on trying to take down Elk, but he gets stunned and killed. Now it's Blubber and Swen going in. The Lucian has to fall from the perspective of Cloud9 and they succeed. No ADC for BLG, but MNS has fallen. Blubber turns golden and is slain as well. 3v3 now, but Swen, he's isolated for the moment. Yagao comes out the Zonias. And now it's soon going for Berserker, activates his Feather Storm, trying to stay alive there. And he throws the feathers. Double dagger now! And Berserker, he kills Sun, and he keeps alive not only himself, but also his team. And now they're trying to take down Yagao as well, but there's a level 15 Gnar going by the name of Bin who says no. But again, it's Berserker dealing so much damage on Bin as well, but Swen is gone. And so Berserker has to disengage all three remaining members there with little health. The boomerang misses, but Yagao and Bin, they both know that Berserker has to be there. And so in the end, it will be Bin on the Gnar with the crunch for the takedown on the Xayah. And so finally, BLG, they will obtain the Dragon Soul, which will ultimately put him in a driving seat. As we see Yagao there isolated, and it's 4 members of Cloud9 now creating a slaughter there in the topside jungle. And after they already lost the Dragon Soul to BLG, Cloud9, they really have to obtain the Baron Nash in this situation. Berserker now going for the top lane T1, but Elk, he dashes in and forces the enemy ADC away from it. And so it's now Fudge with a TP right into the danger zone. He gets instantly knocked out by the Nami ult. And his health bar, it's like, where is his health bar? He's instantly into the Zonias and now in the grey screen. And so Cloud9, they're on the retreat. BLG are hunting them down, going for Blubber first. He's got an Angel procs, and it's Bin on the bottom side screen going for Berserker. And on the top side, it's MNS and Swen trying to take down Elk, but with no success. The Rock on, and now the Silas will fall victim. And so it's only Blubber and Berserker there, surviving this team fight. Now on the retreat, and BLG, they will take the Baron buff, and with it, they will have everything they need to win this game 1. 34 minutes into the game, and the team from the LPL about to break into the base of Cloud9. Blubber with the Nocturne ult there, trying to make the miracle happen and fend off BLG. Also Swen is going in, but he's getting so low and he's slain first. Blubber limps away with 10 HP. As Yagao flashes in and takes him down as well. Soon with the flash Q there on Fudge, who becomes the next target. But he flashes away. And BLG, they now turn to take down the mid lane inhib, to then go for the Nexus turrets. And Cloud9, there are only 3 members for the last more than 20 seconds, desperately trying to fend off a full squad of BLG. And it's Elk now. He takes down MNS, turns golden, resurrected by the Guardian Angel. And he comes back from the dead just to take out Berserker. And it will be on with the Flash W of the Nami there to take down Fudge as the last living member for Cloud9. And so after almost 35 minutes, this game 1 will be over. And it's BLG with another convincing performance in this tournament. And we are curious to see what waits for us in game 2. And it's a new game that brings new luck to both teams. It's Cloud9 with Fudge on the Sion. Blubber, he's on the Kindred. MNS, he shows us the Galio. And Berserker and Swen, they're again on Sion Drakon. And for BLG, it's Bin on the top lane on Cannon. Sun, he's with the Vi again. Yagao, he now plays the Syndra. And just like on the other side, the bot lane stays the same. Elk on the Lucian, and On, he's playing the Nami. And 4.5 minutes into the game, we look at the fight between the two bot lanes. Swen is dashing in, going for Elk now, who's getting low, but he dashes away. And so the table's turned at Swen now. He becomes the primary target, and it's a flash auto of Nami that will draw first blood here. We're again on the bot lane where we see Elk there, rooted, knocked up, and now he's running for his life. On, he tries everything to keep his ADC alive there, but MNS, he comes in, and Elk, he managed to flash away. On gets knocked up, but Berserker throws a double dagger, so Elk kills him with this. And so Cloud9, they take the first kill as well, but the first dragon, it will go to BLG, it's a camp tag. 3v2 for Cloud9 there in the bot lane again, and it's Blabber who gets stunned, and against all odds it's on with the second kill for BLG here, though being outnumbered. And just a couple of seconds later it's MNS there with the Justice Punch on Elk, and he takes him down. But he doesn't care about Sun and On being in the vicinity there. And now it's Berserker and Swen, they're going in as well. Sun becomes the target, he flashes over the wall into safety for now, but he's not far enough away for Berserker, who flashes over as well and kills him. You guys turned the scene to at least save On there. He deals some damage on MNS, who's now getting low on HP, maybe too low for Cloud9 there, to go for the dive. As we up into the top side where we see Bin there, dealing a lot of damage to Fudge, but the situation gets awkward now for him as Blabber comes in for the gank. And the cannon there running away as fast as his little legs will carry him, but Blabber with the Q, then with the E and the auto attack will send Bin to the grey screen. On a team from the LCS will use the temple they get from this to take down the first herald of the game. And another 3.5 minutes later we see them take the second Drake of the game. MNS there getting surprised there by Sun coming out of the brushes, as at the same time it's Elk getting Chant knocked up there under the T1 in the mid lane and slain. 60 minutes into the game, it's the second herald that lands in the pockets of Cloud9 just to be summoned a minute later in the mid lane, where it crushes into the T1 of BLG there and destroys it. And Cloud9, they're going with all 5 members there for the next dragon, as we see Bin on the cannon in the top lane taking down the turret. And also in the mid lane, a team from the LCS will lose one. So it's 2 towers for BLG, 1 tower and the Drake for Cloud9. And we're now already 19.5 minutes into the game as we see Bin taking down another T1 now in the bot lane. And after 21 minutes it's Cloud9 destroying the second turret of BLG in the top lane. And subtle onslaught there by Fudge now on Bin, but he's alone under the tower, but also taking enough to take 1 or 2 shots. I mean, this is now going in for the dive, but also Swenny comes in with the grand entrance and he will finally take the kill. A bit more than 22 minutes into the game we see Agao there taking the inner turret in the top lane. And MNS on Agao answering back with the outer turret in the bot lane. And we skip another minute where we see Agao there too far away from his team, and then Swen with the grand entrance knocks him up. MNS with the Everfrost root, and just no chance there for the Syndra to escape. A Cloud9 there going for the dragon, but they will be too late. Sun and Bin have already slain it. 24 minutes in the game now, we see Cloud9 there walking down the Baron. MNS there trying to stop Sun, who's already charging his Q. He dashes and then he spikes away the Baron. He dashes in, steals the objective, flashes out, and all members of BLG still alive. And so it's Baron power play now for the team from the LPL, and they take down a T2 in the mid lane. Now going for the bot lane T2, where it's Fudge with the unstoppable onslaught on Bin, soon as stopping Swen from joining the fight. The tidal wave from On comes in, but it won't stop his jungler from getting knocked out. Elk with the culling on Berserker, who has to use his Feather Storm to not get grey screened as well. Elk himself now becomes the target, and he limps away with 10 HP. He will be safe for the moment, as it's Yagao and Bin working down the health bar of Fudge as much as they can. And now all 4 members of BLG looking as if they were on the retreat, but in fact they are not. Except for Fudge, everybody of Cloud9 has already recalled. And so Elk and On, they come back and they let all hell break loose on the Cloud9 top laner and send him into the grave. Fudge is now going for a fishing trip, and it's Swen who will join him there. And the army will have no chance to survive. Cloud9 then really need a winning team fight to come back into this game. And maybe this is all about to start with the slain support of BLG, followed now by the engage on the cannon. But look at the misjudgment as the slicing maelstrom is doing so much damage. In the end, Bin will fall. But so will Blabber and Swen there for Cloud9. And also MNS sees the grey screen. And so Cloud9, they lose 3 team members and only slay 2 opponents. And this just only for the moment, as we see Fudge there chased by Agao and Sun. And now the Vi and the Syndra are throwing fists and dark spheres, slowly but steadily working down the health bar of the Scion, who is just a walking goner there, as we already see at the bottom right screen. The tier 3 turret in the mid lane about to fall. The Inhib now standing bare ready for the taking. And also the bot lane T2 is now getting crushed by Agao, as Sun and Elk are about to take the 3rd dragon for their team. And so things are getting really ugly from the perspective of Cloud9. But they ain't giving up. MNS now flashing in, going for Bin. But the Justice Punch will not connect, and out with the culling! Just melting down the Colossus health bar now. Sonny stops the retreat with the Q. And even the Lamster Sprite of Blabber cannot stop the massacre from happening, as it's a double kill, a triple kill for Elk as he takes down Swen and Berserker. and he will make it a quadra as he kills the Scion as well. Now going for Blabber. Can he get the Panther? Will it be a Panther kill for the second time of the tournament? No, it will be a Gao who takes the final kill on Blabber. 30.5 minutes into the games, Cloud9, they got aced. BLG now going for the inhib in the mid lane and the Nexus turrets. MNS and Swen about to return within the next seconds. But it's nothing that they could do to stop BLG from taking the second game as well, as they now take the commanding lead, having 3 match point games ahead, and looking good to continue the tournament in the upper bracket. Game number 3, which could already be the last one in the series. BLG now starting from the blue side with Bin on the Gwen. Sun, he's playing the Wukong. Yagao, he's on the Ahri in the mid lane, and Elk and on Jinx and Alistair. For Cloud9, it's all or nothing. They have to throw everything on the scales, and they do so with Fudge again on the Scion. Blabber now on the Lee Sin. MNS, he plays the LeBlanc. Berserker, he's on the Aphelios. And Swan, he's playing the Thresh. 2.5 minutes into the game, we see a potential top lane gank there set up by Blabber. But before that, we see on with the WQ there on Berserker. The Ignite connects. At least Berserker with not much HP. But he survives there for the moment, what we can probably not say for MNS there. Chased by Bin, and he snips his opponent into the grey screen, while Blabber in return will take the trade 1-for-1 there in the top lane. As we follow the cam back to the bot lane, where Sun now sneaking in on the Wukong. Berserker got away, but Swen, he's trapped there under his turret. And again, it will be the Minotaur starting to engage with the headbutt, and then finally it will be Owl collecting the kill with a Jinx. 4.5 minutes into the game, we see Blabber there in a bit of an awkward situation against Sun and On. But he will get some help there by Swen on the Thresh, who throws the lantern and then connects the hook on Sun. Pulls him out, and Cloud9 there walking down the jungler of BLG. And he's taking so much damage, gets ignited, and finally he will fall. Blabber now dashing onto Yagao, the rest of Cloud9 is attacking On. And it's nothing to do there for Elk to stop his from Porter from dying. And so he has to turn around and try to attack Blabber there. But he will kill the Ahri of Yagao. And so the only thing for Elk left to do is get himself into safety and not get killed as well. First Dragon gets slain after 6.5 minutes there by Cloud9. Sun was close, but not close enough to steal away the objective. And then just a couple of seconds later, we see On there, patiently waiting for Swen to pass by. Hex flashing over the wall, and now the Thresh is encircled by 3 players of BLG. And his fate has never been so sealed like it is in this situation. I mean, also BLG bringing themselves into position to take down the Herald as Fudge decides to go for the engage on Bin, joined by Swen. But the damage is just not enough, and so the situation backfires as they're now under retreat, hoping for MNS to TP in time. But Fudge gets stunned, and it will be too late for the top laner to be secured there. And so it's Fudge having the glory in death, but the kill will go to BLG. And so a couple of seconds later, BLG, they will finally obtain the Herald. But another 2 minutes later, Cloud9 in return, they will take their second Dragon of the game. And now Blabber, he finds On there with the resonating strike. And immediately he and Berserker, they will go for Elk. And they will send the Jinx back to the grey screen. The Herald placed in the mid lane after a bit more than 30 minutes, and we see Blabber, they're coming for the next gank. He's going for Sun, but the Wukong and the Ahri of Yagao will do so much damage to him. So he has to back off, save his life there. And so Cloud9, they can only bring down the Herald and minimize the damage dealt to the T1 there. Fudge now closing into the river, moving straight in the cyclone of Sun there. Yagao comes in as well, but his charm is dodged there by the stopwatch of Fudge, buying some time for Blabber to come in and turn the tides in this fight. And indeed he will. Yagao gets stunned and knocked up and falls to the feet of Cloud9, who are now going for Sun as well. But the Wukong gets his hairy bottom there under the turret and into safety. Almost 17 minutes into the game, we see BLG taking the second Herald of the game, and a couple of seconds later, Cloud9 there going for the Drake. It would be sole point for them, so for BLG it's important to deny them this objective. The Herald is already placed in the mid lane to put some pressure on the team from the LCS. As the fight breaks out and Fudge, he's out of position there at the top side. He managed to dash away, but finally the needlework of the ground will take him down. Blabber dashing in on Bin, trying to trade one back, but he will be not successful. But instead he's now rooted in the data, but the safeguard dash over the wall will get him out of there. As Bin is now joining the Herald in the mid lane, which is still moving forward towards the T2, and the rest of BLG now ready to flip the Dragon. Blabber now going in for the steal, but the smite will be just a split second too early. And now the follow-up team fight. Berserker will fall, killed there by the Jinx of Elk, who will collect the double kill as he takes out Blabber as well. BLG, they take the Dragon, they win the team fight, and the Herald is still a living menace as he crashes into the mid lane inhib turret. It will be 3 towers destroyed there by BLG in this situation alone. And on the bottom right screen we see the next turret of Cloud9 falling. On the top lane T1 as well, It seems like all the structure of the team from the LCS is crumbling during this minute of the game. And now it's a Baron Nashor going to the team from the LPL as well. And now the follow-up team fight. This could be a preliminary decision. Cloud9, they have to win this. Anon has already fallen. Blabber, he's now chasing down Yagao. Joined up by Fudge. The Sion is going for it, and he will manage to take down the mid lane of BLG. But Sun and Elk now going for him, and in return they will take down Fudge. The Wukong and Jinx, the only two living members with the Baron buff there for BLG. For Cloud9, they will have Sun trapped. He falls. And so it's only Elk for BLG there left for potential Baron power play. Blabber, he cuts off his escape route, but he's already low as he takes another hit by the Fishbone's rocket launcher there. Berserker now flashing over the wall, trying to set an end to the life of Elk, and both ADCs, they trade their lives. But the Baron buff will be denied. Cloud9 live to fight another day as they do so here in the mid lane as they collect another kill there on Bin. Being down by only 3k now. The silver lining on the horizon is now visible for them again. And now after 24 minutes, they managed to take down the first turret. Could it be the potential comeback angle for them now? MNS dashing in with the distortion on Elk, shackling him with the ethereal chains. But he has to get out as he takes so much damage. Blabber goes in, but it will be just a suicide as Elk is saved by the stopwatch there. 29 minutes into the game, we see the next Baron Nashor about to be slain there. Both teams near the Baron pit, but with Blabber still counting the respawn time and the chances for Cloud9 to get this objective. All little to nothing. And the follow-up team fight now. And the health bar of Fudge on the Sion is just melted down. And he finds himself almost instantly in the glory of death, which will also last for just 1 or 2 seconds. And on the second try, BLG again brings down the Baron Nashor. But this time, they will keep all their members alive. And the Baron buff going for the next 3 minutes. As we see Cloud9 taking soul point there. And Blabber running away there from the bot laners of BLG. Yagao also in the vicinity cutting off his escape route. And the Cloud9 jungler left with little to nothing HP and without any potential getaway. And so his fate looks pretty grey screenish. We're now 1.5 minutes into the Baron power play as we see BLG taking down the bot lane tier 2. And with a little under a minute left of the Baron power play, we hop into the bot lane where it's been there, trapped by 3 members of Cloud9. Swen also comes in to make it 4, and they just melt down the health bar off the top lane of BLG. Nothing for Yagao and Sun to do there. And this is what Cloud9 need, to keep their hopes alive there. But now we see an isolated Fudge there. In return now alone against 4 members of BLG. All he can do is buy some time before he gets grey screened. MNS in the meantime taking down the bot lane T1. But it will help only so little. After 33 minutes, BLG they taking a run for a potential final approach in this series. Through the top lane they go, taking down a tier 2. MNS, he gets chomped there, rooted by the Everfrost of Yagao. And Cloud9, they will lose their LeBron. And also the Thresh killed there by the Alistair of On. Berserker and Blabber there on Aphelios and Lee Sin, the last line of defense for the team from the LCS. Espin now decides to go for Berserker and snips down the health bar of the ADC of Cloud9. And eventually he gets the kill. But he will pay for this with his own life as Fudge is now returning. The Lee Sin and the Sion now. All that is left for Cloud9. As BLG there now going for the Nexus turrets and Fudge, he tries to stop them with the unstoppable onslaught. But his health bar's just eaten up by the team from the LPL. And his glory and death will only last for so long. And so again it's Blabber, the last remaining member there for Cloud9. At least for the next seconds until Swen is respawning on the Thresh. Blabber, he tries to buy some time, he goes in, then goes down, but his Guardian Angel will proc. Swen is now there, but there's nothing that he can do, because Blabber is sent into the grey screen right after he gets resurrected. The first Nexus turret falls, Swen goes in, and so does MNS. But the Thresh is slain, the second Nexus turret is down. And this series is about to come to an end right now, as BLG defeats Cloud9 within the minimum of 3 games, and they will proceed to the upper bracket and send their opponent down to the elimination matches of the lower bracket.
Lost in space, so